Michelle,
Yeah.
I am thrilled to tell you that I got the opportunity to spend more money at the vet because I'm a very fortunate person.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to spend as much money at the vet as you possibly can.
I mean, those people have to make a living too, so.
And the good news is it's not hard to constantly spend money at the vet. It's
Yeah.
actually very easy to pull that one off. So I know that overall, Giggs seems to have a pretty good bill of health considering her face and stuff.
I guess.
You guess? Does she have a lot of problems you just don't tell me about?
Well, I mean, she has arthritis. I need to take her to get her teeth cleaned because her teeth are really dirty. So that's going to cost a bunch of
Oh,
money.
I thought cats didn't need their teeth cleaned because they eat just meat.
I don't, I definitely didn't say that.
I feel like you said that.
No, I've had multiple, like every single vet I've ever taken a cat to has been like, "Oh, do you brush their teeth?" And it's like, "Yes, I brush their teeth. That's safe.
You don't brush your cat's teeth?
You can't brush a cat's teeth."
I think you can
I'm
brush a cat's teeth.
Have you tried to brush a cat's teeth
I
before?
brushed my cat when I was a kid. I brushed his teeth.
Really?
Uh-huh. Neo's. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he hated it. It was awesome. I also gave him baths, which he really hated, and I gave them to him too often because I was very young and I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So, oh, Ray Cersei, good to see you, Ray. It's been a while since I've caught you on a live
Yeah.
stream. She said, I feel like my cat would never let me survive that.
Yeah, exactly.
But Giggs is not, in the traditional sense of evil cat, Giggs is not really that.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And like, I can cut her nails and stuff, and she only looks very sad. But the problem is because of her mouth injury, she does not like people touching. Like,
Oh,
she doesn't like.
that makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
I know when she goes to to the vet, they have a whole lot of trouble like opening her mouth because they do. She does not want anybody touching that.
Ray said, like that sounds like imminent death. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. No, I mean fair. So do they? Is it like getting a dog's teeth cleaned? You just
I,
put them under anesthesia and clean them up really
I
well.
believe so.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Oh, and Ray, thank you very much. You said congrats on popcorn fodder. I guess we'll mention that for anybody who has not seen the posts and stuff. My movie hosting show, Popcorn Fodder, is now available to stream on Tubi TV, which, as we discussed earlier in our live streams, you can find at tubi.tv or tubi.com or tuvitv.com because they all go to the same place.
Hmm.
Uh, so, and while we're talking about veterinary stuff, I guess we should check the doggo cam. Doggo cam is up, and the boy is just taking a nap.
Good.
So, well, he was not the one who went to the vet, by the way. Uh, Henwolf needed to go to the vet. I think I've mentioned before. I know I've mentioned to you. Henwolf grows tumors like I guess it's like her hobby.
Yeah.
She loves to have tumors, new tumors, and they've knocking on wood, they've all been benign on Henwolf. Now Chicano had a tumor and it turned out to be cancerous, but we got it removed and we're keeping an eye on it and all of that. But Henwolf always has these growths. Well, the big thing I learned from all of these growths is if they're hard, that's bad. Because
Okay.
if they're soft and squishy, it means they're probably just full of fat,
Hmm.
which would mean it's a fatty tumor, which generally speaking are not an issue as long as they're not somewhere where it causes immobility or pain or discomfort. So I noticed a little tiny growth right where Henwolf's ear meets her noggin. And
Hmm.
I squeezed on it and it felt hard. And I was like, uh-oh. So I called the vet, set up the appointment. Now, of course, 2 days after I schedule the appointment, 2 days away from the appointment, it becomes much softer and less hard. And I'm like, this has happened. I've taken Henwolf to the vet for a sore neck that was completely healed by the time we got to the vet.
Yeah.
Of course, these were not veterinary emergencies. These were just veterinary, like, oh, I better get that looked at. Oh, this seems like it might not be a good thing. It's not like the time she had an incision and it opened up. I mean, we were back in the veterinary office like 35 minutes later. That was an
Right.
emergency, but these are not, severe emergencies, but I took her in and had them look at the bump on her head. And good news is they lanced it. Well, they accidentally lanced it when they were sticking it to get a sample out of it.
Mhm.
They took the sample out and found that while it was not her typical fatty tumor, it was simply a small infected nodule. It was just a little nodule that was full of like dead tissue that had gotten infected.
Mhm. Okay.
So
Yeah.
he tried to like, pop it a little bit and then cleaned it up. And Henwolf was very good. It was clear that it hurt a little bit, and she was doing a very good job
Aw.
of standing as still as she could, and and not freaking out. She's very, very good at the vet, by the way. I think I've mentioned that before. She loves going
Yeah.
to the vet. That's one of her favorite things. So that helps a lot. Uh,
Yeah.
I know people have very, very, very bad experiences going to the vet. My cousin and his wife recently adopted a husky Malamute mix dog, which they thought was going to be like the dog that kind of brought a calming sense to their home. They wanted to get an older. I don't know why they didn't listen to me. They were like, "We're gonna get an older dog, an older male dog, to be an example for these dogs." And all I could think was like, "Well, that's not really how dogs. Like, if you want a dog to teach younger dogs, it should probably be a female."
Mhm.
Because that's like Henwolf literally trains every dog she meets to behave. That's how she is, and she actually helped get those two to be their original two dogs to behave. So they end up with this Malamute mix, which Rachel Rodolphi's in the chat, and she could talk a lot about Ash, the Malamute husky mix boy, because she walks him a couple of times a
Huh.
week, and he's a nightmare. He's so energetic and silly. He's a cute dog though. He's not a bad dog by any stretch, but when they took him to the vet, their normal vet, he got like really aggressive and mean and nipping.
Oh.
I mean, oh, he was bad. Like they just had to leave.
Wow.
They didn't even get to vet him at all there. And they actually sent a cake saying I'm sorry. And the funny thing is, I told that to my vet's assistant yesterday. I was telling her that story, and she was like, "That was that here?" And I was like, "No, no, that was somewhere else because they live a little ways away." And she was like, "Oh, because we got a cake before." Because so apparently it's not that unusual for them to get a cake because their dog was a shithead.
That's
So
so weird.
thought that was pretty cute though. It's like it's like sorry, my dog was such a jerk. Here's a fucking cake,
Wow.
right? So that was a funny incident. Rachel commented on Facebook and said she's kind of a celebrity at the vet. It's true. She stomps around and everybody gets to pet her and love on her. The
Aw.
time before that, when we took her there just to get a booster shot, I literally heard them take her back to like stick her, and I heard somebody go Henwolf like in the behind the door, like
Aw.
well, Henwolf has a certain type of big dog energy that not all dogs have, which is she loves strangers and new
Mhm.
people, and she wants to meet them and get petted by them, and and all of that. So Rachel commenting about Ash the Malamute Husky mix, he just has a lot of energy, lol. So, but then my vet, the reason I even brought this up is my vet mentioned something really interesting, which is that his dog cannot go to the vet.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
I know. That's yeah. He said, luckily, I can just vet him at home.
Mhm.
And if I have to do something we can't do at home, I drug him. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, he said his dog cannot handle being at the vet, and meanwhile, he is a vet. So
You'd think that, like, his dog would be used to the smell and would be like, "Oh, it's just an extension of our house."
you'd think, but that would suggest that we live in a fair and balanced world.
Mm.
So today we are not sponsored, but I am drinking Clearly Canadian, which there's no way you'd ever be able to read that.
I can't even see it,
Well,
honestly.
that's your fault.
I just see, like, a blurry thing, and then there's, like actually, I can see clearly Canadian.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, because it's clearly Canadian. So I found these at the grocery store a couple of weeks back, and I remember my mother drinking these a lot when I was a kid, and then I never saw them ever.
Huh.
So I don't know if they like as a brand, if they've like come back, or if they never went anywhere and I just was not paying attention, which is possible. I've
Yeah.
been wrong once before. Um, so, and now I want to know. So, do you think I should see what Wikipedia? Oh, not WikiHow. Wikipedia. Yeah, I want to know how clearly Canadian exists. Clearly Canadian. Oh, not the 1992 single by George Fox. Okay, let's see. Let me pull this. Let me pull this up. So, wow, it's just small enough I can't really read it.
Yeah.
Clearly Canadian is a brand of premium flavoring and spring water that is produced by the Clearly Canadian Food Beverage Limited out of Canada. The brand was founded in 1987 in British Columbia, Canada. Outside of Canada, is well known throughout the United States, parts of Europe, and Japan.
Wow.
That's pertinent to your interests, ya weeb.
Oh,
So, huh? It seems like something happened. Let's see. Clearly, Canadian experienced broad corporate mismanagement during much of the last decade that led to it being acquired by CPG focused turnaround team in 2012, led by Robert Kahn. Large scale commercial production has resumed again in Canada after a number of limited short production runs during the 2012 through 2014 period. The company's turnaround was precipitated by an online consumer promoted crowdsourcing campaign that pre sold in
aw.
excess of 25,000 cases. Rhett and Link, hosts of internet comedy show Good Mythical Morning, played a major role in promoting the campaign, attempting to help bring back the beverage of their childhood. Okay, so it was mostly gone for a while. So my observations were not just simply being, unaware and not paying attention.
Well, that's good. It's not something that I'm familiar with, so I don't know if it's something that's around here or not.
I'll tell you why I like it. I've had two flavors as an adult. When I was a kid, my favorite was cherry.
Mhm.
As an adult, my favorite is cherry. So but I remember there was a strawberry one when I was a kid, which I let mom have because they were gross. Uh, but this is mountain blackberry, and the one thing I like about the flavored clearly Canadians is they're sour.
Oh,
Like
gross.
they have like a tart. Well, no, sour is not the right word, but they're tart. They're tart a like what they like a wild cherry or a blackberry would be. And I like tart. I know you don't like sour because you're boring.
It's just it's just so sad. It's such a sad kind of flavor. Sour.
Sour? Sour is joyous. What are you talking about?
No, it's sad.
How is that? How is sour sad? I want to
It's
understand.
like when you get a strawberry and it's not totally ripe yet, or it's a bad strawberry and it's sour. It's sad.
When I get a strawberry and it's not sour, then I debate throwing them away.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I want them to be sour. Like that is the only like when I get a blue raspberry anything and it's not the sour form of blue raspberry, I've wasted my money.
It's not even a thing.
What blue raspberry?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not a real thing, so it can't.
You're thinking of the color brown. The color brown doesn't
No,
exist.
no,
Blue raspberry does, but the color brown.
no.
I'm sorry, but these are the facts.
Man.
So, well, I am enjoying it. You'll never drink it because it's kind of expensive. I mean, it's like
Also,
$1.60 for a bottle of it.
also, is it like a? I don't even know what it is. Is it like a sparkling flavored water?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then I also won't drink it because of that.
You
So
don't like sparkling flavored water?
no,
Why not?
because I don't like the carbonation taste.
You mean like the taste of like when you drink just seltzer?
Yeah, like the taste that comes from beverages being carbonated. I don't like that taste.
You mean the taste of carbon dioxide inside of the molecules?
Yes.
But you like soda, like pop, right?
Um, a little sometimes.
I mean, I know you're not like me. I'm like like the only thing like if I lost everything in the world today, the only thing I wouldn't be able to let go of is my massive amount of soda consumption. I would be like, okay, I gotta live in a smaller house. I gotta get a cheaper car. I'd be like, I ain't giving up my soda. I'm drinking my soda every day.
Aw.
And I would start talking like that. Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you have to give up your normal accent too.
It's like, sorry, we have to repossess your Central Ohio accent. It's like, oh man, now I don't sound like a newscaster. This is the voice I was born with. I was a very odd 2-year-old. Dad, mama. So, Keith Tomlin commented in the chat. He said, "You like clearly Canadian, huh? I may have to stop by your local grocery and buy them out." I mean, it seems like it would help the company because they've been really they have had a hard go. In 1993, their annual sales were over 155 million dollars.
Wow.
But like not even 20 years later, they like can barely do anything.
Those poor
So
guys.
yeah, I feel for them.
Yeah, with their gross sodas.
So what I was going to say is, it's not a lightly. This is like an older product,
Mhm.
so lightly flavored like Lacroix and shit. That was way after this.
Okay.
So this isn't a lightly flavored like spring water with carbonation. This tastes like a soda to me,
Okay.
like
That
heavily flavored sparkling beverage.
okay. I mean, because the carbonation flavor, you know, like if you have enough stuff, you
It
don't
covers it
taste
up.
it
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
Well, that's why I love when people are like, "Oh, Lacroix is like drinking TV static." I'm like, "Yeah, it's so good. I love that taste of just carbonated water."
Gross.
One time, a buddy and me got bored, so we built our own Soda Stream
Hmm.
for $14. We took we took a bottle with a screw-on cap, like a 2 liter,
Mhm.
or it was a 1 liter, but we took a bottle and we took the cap off and we drilled a hole in it and we put a stem, like a tire stem,
Mhm.
inside it and sealed it with hot glue. So
Okay.
it was like stuck in there and pretty airtight.
Mhm.
Actually, we used epoxy because this was my buddy who knew how to do stuff. I do not know how to do stuff. But so we locked it in with the epoxy, and then we went out and we bought this little canister thing that you hook a CO2 cartridge into, like from a paintball gun, and it just goes pss, 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 and it's meant to help you fill tires. So then we hooked a
Okay.
CO2 cartridge into it that he had a bunch of laying around because he used to play paintball.
Oh,
And
okay.
the bottle with water, sealed it up, and just went and literally forced carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide into the water, and it made the water bubbly.
That's pretty cool.
It was super cool. I almost guarantee he got that idea from Reddit.
I mean, maybe.
I think it's a guarantee.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was cool. But I don't mind that flavor. But this doesn't really have that. It's the fruit flavor is so strong that you really can't taste that part much at all.
Okay.
So it's more like, I mean, I know you do because you've worked in grocery stores. You know how grocery stores will often have their own brand of like a clear fruit flavored soda.
Mhm.
Talking about like the like they usually are in 1 liter bottles and stuff. Like Meyer has them, and Walmart has them. They're like clearly whatever, and it has a flavor list on it, but it's a clear liquid. That's what
Uh-huh.
these are, but like fancier. Like they have
Okay.
natural ingredients or whatever. I used
Okay.
to drink those all the time though because they'd be like 70 cents for a whole like liter of like cold sweet water. And it's always 0 calorie. This is
Yeah.
0 calorie. This is like 140 calories.
Oh, so it's like literally a soda.
It's 90 calories.
It's a soda.
I mean, yes, it's a serving size 1 bottle, no fat, no sodium, oddly enough, but 25 grams of sugar.
Okay, now I totally understand what's happening. So it's just soda.
It's no, it is. It's a sparkling water beverage.
It's soda.
It came before the Lacroix and stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
it
but
was
that okay, but then that's a completely different thing because those don't have sugar or even any like sugar replacement. They're like gross stuff.
but the reason they call it they phrase it that way is because it comes from spring water sources in British Columbia, Formosa, Ontario, and other Canadian springs.
Okay, okay.
Oh wow, listen to these ingredients. Carbonated spring water, pure cane sugar, natural vegan flavor. Citric. That's weird because I got the bacon one. So you
Huh. Yeah.
so Rachel Rodolphe just commented and said clearly Canadian is the OG seltzer water. I do think they have a version now that is just the water. I mean, it would just make sense, white people love that stuff.
Mhm.
Uh I don't see it, but oh man, I just hold on. Oh man, look at that. You might be able to see it. That bottle right there
Yeah.
where my mouse is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the bottle I remember when I was a kid.
Aw.
Mom used to. She would get like a few of them every now and then when I liked them, she'd get a couple more.
Okay.
You know. So, thanks to my mother mostly raising me on her own, I like lots of stuff that like 40-year-olds in the 90s liked. That's like, what I used to love that like nobody like my age and male likes? TCBY. Do you remember TCBY?
Um, like vaguely.
TCB. Now I want to know about TCBY. Because I the country's best yogurt. That's why I was trying to remember what it stood for.
Oh, yogurts.
So it was Froyo.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, okay.
So here we go. I can read it now properly. Yeah, the best yogurt is an American chain of frozen yogurt stores. It's one of the largest U.S. retailers of soft serve frozen yogurt.
Hmm.
And they used a TCBY near my house, and Mom and I used to go there all the time. But like all the commercials for TCBY were all like clearly and obviously geared towards like middle-aged women who want to watch their weight line. But then I'd
Mhm.
be like, Mom, can we go to TCBY? And she used to actually be like, I just want to get ice cream. And I'd be like, but I want an orange sorbet. And they had like different flavored sorbet. You had to, when you got there, you'd find out like what do they have.
Mhm.
So I would get there and be like, oh man, they didn't have orange sorbet. Orange was my favorite one. And they
It's
only
cool.
had it occasionally. So I'd be like, great, I gotta slum it with lemon again.
Oh.
Did you what? Well, so is there a favorite treat you had when you were younger that's just not around anymore today? Michelle's like, I don't have such weaknesses.
No, like I'm like struggling to think of one um that was around and isn't around anymore.
You were like, I
No.
just like too many things that are good and everyone still likes them today.
I mean, that's kind of what I was going for. Um yeah, no, I mean really like there's just not a lot of stuff that, it's all still there. Except for like Jello Jigglers that isn't promoted anymore.
Oh,
But
you can still make Jello jigglers
yeah,
though.
no, but you can't because it's illegal.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in like New Jersey, it would be.
Yeah. So you can't do it anymore because it's too little water or something. So,
It's too dangerous. It's too much hooves and joint gunk.
mhm.
I think Jello jigglers were fun. I made those when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I forget how. Do you remember I was on a Jello kick for like a week or two there, where I just kept making Jello, and every
I
time I finished the
remember.
Jello, I just made another tray of Jello.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out it's really
Lucky.
easy to make, so I
Yeah.
liked making it. It was like, wow, you mean I just have to work at it for like 3 minutes, and then I just put it in the fridge till it's Jello? Yeah.
Yeah.
I got because I got cherry starburst Jello, and it was very very good. So now I'm just hungry. Like, why did we talk about this?
I'm sorry.
Wow, Chicano's dug his face into his little blankie.
He's, he's cute.
Yeah, he's cute. And I didn't point the camera so you couldn't see how messy my house is. So,
Oh.
um, Keith
Yeah.
just asked, is Royal Crown Soda RC still a thing? Yes.
Mhm.
In fact, I used to when I would spend time at that place called Chicken or the Egg on Long Beach Island. It's a restaurant. They only serve Royal Crown Cola from their fountain drink machine
Wow.
because they refuse to change anything, and they've been serving Royal Crown for like 50 years. So yeah, but they'll do like a shot of chocolate or a shot of cherry into your Royal Crown soda.
Oh.
So And it's funny because in order to keep things consistent, they have a Diet Royal Crown, but it's Diet Right because Diet Right was Royal Crown's original diet.
Huh.
But Diet Right is not owned by the Royal Crown anymore. They sold it off a while back because Diet Right was technically the first diet soda in the world.
Wow.
And I used to be a religious follower of Diet Right until they got rid of a bunch of the flavors I liked.
Oh, I'm
Because the
sorry.
cola one was my least favorite, but like they had like black cherry and raspberry. What was that sound?
That was me dropping the pen I was playing with.
You need a quiet thing. Like I squeeze on this thing a lot.
If I dropped
It's
that on my table, it would make a sound too, though.
oh, you dropped it on the table. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Why it was so loud then. See, I got. I'm bouncing this on my desk. You can't even hear it. Okay, maybe you can a
Yeah.
little bit. But no, yeah. So, yeah, but RC Cola is still out there, and they're pretty good. They're
Hmm.
they're pretty good. So I don't know, but I was very surprised. I saw this on the shelf, and I was like, "Why do I remember Clearly Canadian? Like, why do I remember it?" So I bought one and I tasted it. And I was like, "I remember that taste pretty well."
Aw.
So that's good. It is tart though. So what is the most tart you're okay with?
I don't know. None? Like, I could do orange juice sometimes.
Sometimes,
Well,
sometimes orange juice is too tart for you. You
it
just
is. No, it is, and I'll just, like, I'll drink it, but I'll just, like, hate it the whole time. I'll just, like, be wincing at it.
man, nothing makes me happier than when somebody gives me a strong cup of orange juice, just like really sour,
Ah,
tons of pulp.
I
I
like
just
pulp.
I like the pulp. So man, that's crazy because like I love tart. Tart to me, tart is like the key element in anything that's enjoyable. Like if I get candy and I expect it to be tart and I bite into it and it's not, I'm just like, oh man. Oh man, you ever have a warhead?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
You know, it was just sour. Like, it's not like it's gonna end my world. I don't see, like, the joy in it at all, and yeah.
It's getting to go. Mm. What about? I mean, you like lime like on Mexican food, right?
I mean, a little bit, but not I can't, like, eat the lime or something.
You can, but you don't want to. Is a more accurate way to put it. You absolutely are capable of eating a lime, but you would rather not.
I mean, it depends on what you mean by can, because there's a court order that says I can't eat the lime.
Could you read the text of it for me, please?
No, I'm not allowed to.
It's a super secret court order.
Yes.
Well, I have always liked sour food. Did I ever tell you the story about the time I ate an entire giant bag of Warheads one Friday night while my mom was out?
I
And
think so.
I was like maybe 13 or 14. I ate the entire actually it might have been more like 11 or 12, but I ate the entire bag and I just was like playing on AOL. Remember like us playing on like AOL Instant Messenger and stuff, like going into chat rooms and like and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I ate the whole bag and I think well, I didn't eat the whole bag. I ate almost the entire bag. And there may have been two left or something. And I looked at my tongue in the mirror and my tongue was like white in like a big spot in the center.
Mhm.
And I huffed it, I touched it, and I was like, ah. So I picked at it, and the skin came off and left like a dark red, almost bleeding skin underneath it. You want to know what I did next? To because I'm clearly like I was a gifted child according to the schools.
I mean, I assumed that you put a Band-Aid on it and you called it a
On my
day and you
tongue.
never ate a warhead again.
I tried to eat one more warhead
Mhm.
and then screamed out in pain and realized, okay, I am hurt. And then I was like, this is ridiculous. They should. And there was totally a warning on the bag. I looked at the bag and it
Oh,
says, like, overconsumption of this candy can lead to temporary damage of the skin of your tongue.
oh my god.
So, Raymond Brown commented on Facebook and laughing at your comment about the court order. And then Keith Tomlin commented, non disclosure Lime agreement, an NDLA. I like that. David Denoyer said, The same thing happened to me with Shock Tarts. Shock Tarts had a really sour coating on them. And I could see that if you ate enough of them, it would start to damage your tongue. But I want to point out this was not minor. I like it was most of my tongue skin came off. Like it was really bad. I watched a video where a guy tried to eat, I think it was 100 toxic waste, which are even more sour. And my mouth is watering because I wish I had some. But oh my god, I watched a video where a guy tried to eat 100 of them and he was bleeding. Like his mouth was bleeding.
It's not supposed to do that.
Mouths bleed all the time. What are
They're
you even
not
talking
supposed
about?
they're not supposed to bleed from eating food.
That's not. I don't know. What about Captain Crunch? Keith was just commenting on that. I remember eating Captain Crunch until the roof of my mouth was shredded. And these flaps of skin were hanging out down inside my mouth.
Well, I mean, that's what happens to me when I eat pizza, but, like, that's
Because you can't wait for it to cool down. You're like, no, eat it
exactly.
now. I'm too happy about this pizza. I need it to hurt me. David said that the that the Shock Tarts took off the skin on his cheeks. I will say the thing I remember about Shock Tarts from my childhood is my mother had braces when she was like 45, 46, and a
Mhm.
Shock Tart ripped a bracket like right off her tooth.
Oh my god.
You're not supposed to eat stuff that's that chewy and sticky when you have braces. And it, yeah, ripped it right off. And then when I had braces, I was not allowed to eat Shock Tarts because we had household knowledge that it could cause trouble. So Rachel Rodolphe said, "LOL, I'm mad. My tongue bleed eating too much maple candy." Was it?
Oh,
Wait. So
wow.
Rachel, we're gonna need you to expound. So when you say it was from eating too much maple candy, do you mean because like sucking on the candy made it sharp or something? Because I don't imagine maple candy would have the makeup to like make you bleed from like a chemical reaction, but I could be wrong. So you look way too invested in this, Michelle.
Are we talking maple candy like the little bits of sugar
I
and
don't know. That's what I want to know. So hopefully Rachel will get us this cleared up. Tim
okay.
Chestnut commented on YouTube: "Food is supposed to hurt. It's payback. This thing is dead to you. Your pain is just a slight amount of payback." That's the way to look at it. Wow. Okay. Okay. Wow. But no, Rachel. What? Yeah. When you say maple candy, what do you mean?
I think it's the little sugary maple things, you know?
See, I searched maple candy on Wikipedia, and all I found was maple taffy, which I used to make when I was a kid in New Hampshire.
Yeah, that sounds good actually.
Have you ever had maple taffy?
I don't think so.
You know what it is, right?
Uh, um, taffy that's maple?
No, no. Maple taffy is here. I'll pull it up. Maple taffy, which we didn't call it maple taffy in New Hampshire, we called it a sugar eat. Um, but it's where you pour a boiling maple syrup
Mhm.
onto snow, and then you eat the snow.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Have you ever done that? It's fun.
No, I have not done that.
So when I was a kid, we used to do that on snowy days when I was visiting my dad in New Hampshire, and we would take a cookie sheet, fill it with snow, and
Mhm.
then we would do it onto the cookie sheet. We would pour
Okay.
what you would do is you would pour the really hot maple syrup right on there, and then you would twirl it up on a popsicle stick, lift it up, and you just eat it.
Hmm.
And it was really sweet. So some of the adults would have they'd have like saltine crackers that they'd eat right after to try and like cut the sweet. Because if you've ever spent a substantial amount of time, and you would know that in the South it's all lard and butter, and in the North it's like all sugar. It's like that they're like completely irresponsible with.
Mhm.
Like in the South, it's like I cooked this in lard and then fried it in butter, and then you get to the North and they're just like, I ate 5 pounds of granulated sugar, and you're like, why? And they're like, it's my culture. Get lost. So that was my experience anyway. But yeah, so it says the candy is made by boiling maple syrup to about 234 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mhm.
It is best to use a candy thermometer. Yeah, no, well, we never did that. We just got it boiling.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. I remember there's a term for it in Canada because it's very common in Quebec, but I don't remember. I don't remember. Oh, we got our comment by Rachel. So Rachel said it was candy made out of maple sap and hardened. It was basically pure maple, and the sugar crystals were really sharp. I sucked on a piece so long that the sugar shredded my tongue. Is that what you were
Oh,
thinking? Was that what you were talking about?
I don't know, actually. I don't think so.
Why do you do this to us, Michelle? Why don't you just
Um, I don't know. Maple sugar candy.
She's cheating. This is not an open book test. This is life.
I don't know. Yeah, maple leaf candy. Yeah.
Leaf candy.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the ones that look like a maple leaf?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I thought she was initially talking about too.
Okay.
Was the candy that's shaped like a maple leaf that's flavored like maple?
Mhm. Yeah, and
That was
basically just a piece of sugar
yeah.
that might
That's what I was. That's what I was thinking as well.
okay.
So I'm glad she cleared it up. This could have gotten really out of hand
Mhm.
very quickly if we hadn't gotten that cleared up. So
Oh, it was in the shape of a maple leaf.
oh, okay, so yeah, she said it was in the shape of. So now you're just confusing us. I thought you said originally she said it was a candy made out of maple sap and hardened, but
Well, I
then I
mean,
guess it was also shaped into a maple leaf.
I think that the maple candies, they might just be maple syrup. I don't know.
Keith Tomlin commented, "I used to make my brother's lemon in quotes snow cones until my mom found out." That's actually a lie. I have to say that for legal reasons. Um, and Ray Brown said, "So it's Canadian." Well, oddly enough, we ended up on although eating sugar maple taffy is not entirely Canadian. We used Massachusetts maple syrup when we did it in New Hampshire and sometimes Vermont, but mostly
Mhm.
Massachusetts. So, and then of course, clearly Canadian. So, Rachel Rodolfi commented, "Yeah, hardened into the shape of a maple tree." Oh, she corrected herself right after that. Maple leaf. She knew. She knew. She was like, "He's gonna pick on me," instead of just saying like, "Obviously, we know what you mean." No, I would never do that. I would immediately jump at you and attack you because that's the kind of guy I am. I can't help it. I can't help it. So, let's see. Ray Brown said, "Ah, I see." Literally said, "Ah," and then I, and then see. So, how's your week been, Michelle? We've been talking about candy and snack foods and how much you don't like anything that brings people joy. Especially, you especially hate things. Sorry, Tim Chestnut commented, "All your base are belong to us." It's one of my favorite things to say. Whenever confronted with like English, that is my favorite thing to say. All your
Mhm.
base are belong to us. Keith Tomlin commented, "How can you get more Canadian than shaping maple sap into the shape of a maple leaf?" I guess if it apologized to you when you opened it, like you ripped it open and went sorry, and you're like, ah, this is very authentic, and then you ate it and it made your mouth bleed because you
It
don't know
was
when to
sharp.
stop, kid. You don't know. I mean, have you ever been eating a candy cane and just gotten a tip stuck in your tongue like a little tiny tip, like it was basically a like a splinter from the candy cane?
Uh, and had it hurt me or just it existed like that?
It just stuck into your flesh, but it didn't necessarily hurt because it was so small and
No.
sharp. I have
No.
totally been eating the thing and hear it crack, and I go pull the little thing out of my tongue and then eat it because it was so small. Though it didn't like draw blood or anything, it just stuck right into the flesh of my tongue.
Wow.
So I'm just trying to help you understand. Keith Tomlin said a Christmas shank. I mean, when you're in the joint, you use whatever you can use.
Yeah.
So no, but that was yeah, that's a real risk you run when you're like me and you eat like as many candy canes as you can get your hands on. You're gonna end up getting hurt or hurting those you love, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, so I was asking about your week, Michelle.
Oh,
How's
damn.
you? What have you been up to this week?
Nothing. I just went to work. That's it.
And then you just like sat like facing
Well,
a wall.
I mean, to be really fair, I do work 9 hours a day and I am out of my house for at least 11 hours. So, like, there's not that much time.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, be a show off. You know, I once had a friend who worked 72 hours a week. He said he's saving his money for beautiful things. Uh,
Boo, hiss. I hate that song.
So that's what I always get to throw at you when you complain about working too much. I can be like, remember when you wrote a song about how that's just an excuse? Remember? Remember?
Yeah, but I also that was about that it not that working that much and not doing anything that you care about isn't helpful. Not necessarily that it's just an excuse, but
But you don't work 72 hours a week.
I know, but like the whole it's only Wednesday and I've worked Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So it's been
Well, I mean, that's if you're using the Jewish calendar. Uh-oh, we're demonetized. Uh, but week starts on Sunday. Okay.
okay, so you wanted to start on Monday cuz then I really didn't do anything.
No, no, I don't know. But no, I've been spending my week doing really tedious film work.
Yeah.
So I have nothing fun or exciting to say about it other than making movies is so glamorous. You too could sit in a chair for 8 hours at a time just working on sound mixing and polishing and edit. And uh, like it's what I when we're done streaming, it's literally what I have to do. Like the moment we're done, I have to go get
Mhm.
another Clearly Canadian and sit down and work on this.
Yeah.
So I'm only a little frustrated because I had technical problems to start and they
Mhm.
caused a lot of problems for me. Like because then it was like, oh good, this isn't just boring, this is incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
So oh, and David Denoyer said, but then you wind down with a pizza and steel lace. Dave and I watched a movie last night called Steel Lace from the 1990s. It's about a woman who is raped and then in court, although the movie makes no sense, they say they got away with it, but then in court she's a plaintiff, so I guess it was a civil case.
Okay.
I guess the that Los Angeles County was like, "Oh, we don't prosecute rapists anymore, so you got to sue them yourself." But
Mhm.
I think it was just an overlook. I think they didn't think about that, like, because when they said like because the jury found them not guilty, and I was like, that seems like a criminal trial. Also, the head juror when he said we found them guilty or not guilty, he didn't say we found them not guilty. He said we found them not guilty, or he said due to lack of sufficient evidence, we found them not guilty. I was like, so usually they don't have to explain themselves. Usually they just say what they thought.
Well, I mean, maybe in this particular, um, uh,
Multiverse.
or locale, maybe that's just like the only one where you have to explain and you have to write an essay about why.
Yeah.
Man, that would be so good.
Yeah, it wouldn't make more people try to get out of jury duty if you added homework to it. You
Yeah,
gotta
but
write
then
something
like
down.
then it'd be like, well, why did you think that? And they have to come up with a good explanation.
Better have a good explanation.
It's at least 5 pages because trials are long, so they should have lots of information to draw from.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So after the criminals are found innocent,
Hmm.
she decides to jump off of the building and kill herself out of sadness. And her brother is there with her and he witnesses it. So he does what any brother would do. He uses his knowledge of advanced robotics to bring his sister back to life as a murderous android. And I think it was like 5 years later, the robot's ready, so he sends her out, and she's able to like disguise herself as different things. And her weapons make no sense. Like she has a giant drill that comes out of her stomach and just punches through a guy's guts. Like
That
there's
makes sense to me.
a really funny part where the movie's kind of pretty damn goofy, where the coroner is like, well, if it wasn't the removal of 7 primary organs that killed him, I would say it was probably the 7 inches of spinal cord that was taken out. And then he looks to the cop. He's like, "But if you want me to, I can work my magic and make it he choked on a chicken bone." So it was a fun movie, but it was really weird. And she kept like shape shifting into these different people. It was
Wow.
really creepy and weird.
Wow.
It was fun though. But man, was it a strange ride. Steel and Lace, first time ever on Blu-ray.
Wait, I'm confused though. Like, was she kind of still like when she came back as an android? Like, was she okay with this? Because she killed herself, which means I.
She didn't quite understand what happened to her. Like she has memories slowly coming back because her
Uh-huh.
brother programmed her, but she starts to regain her consciousness as it goes, kind of like RoboCop. How she starts to remember herself more and more the longer she's out there murdering these dudes.
Mhm.
And really just murdering the hell out of him. She lifts one guy up and puts his head into the blades of a helicopter.
Wow.
And it's gross. Like you hear the splats and everything. It's
Oh.
just I mean, honestly, it's the kind of thing the whole family can enjoy.
Yeah.
Caitlin Gray commented on Facebook and said, just stopping by to say hi. So hi guys. Hi.
Hi.
Michelle, say hi a little better than that.
Hi.
Keith Tomlin said, because the glove didn't fit, we had to acquit. That's what the jury should have to say. Tim Chestnut just said, that sounds oddly familiar. What was the title again? It was Steel and Lace. And apparently, I don't think I ever saw it, but apparently it was a staple of late night, like cable, like late night
Hmm.
Cinemax, HBO. It was very common. It's a weird little movie. I enjoyed it, but it was strange. It was so out there. Like that was the thing that was blowing my mind. Was like every time she did something robot to kill everybody, it was just like, what is happening? So, and the movie would like contradict itself. Like sometimes she'd have to like peel a mask off to reveal her like robot face underneath, or her normal face, but underneath a disguise. But then
Mhm.
other times, like a flash of light would like make it mostly fall off. But then one time she literally just changes her face in the blink of an eye.
Maybe is it possible she's just getting better at doing it as she goes?
Yes, because it's a neural net processor, a learning computer.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things in the Terminator extended cut. In the original Terminator 2, there's a throwaway line where Arnold's character says he has a neural net processor, a learning computer. Skynet set it to be able to, adapt to everything and da 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 da. Well, if you notice, when he says that line, he's not on camera because they wrote that line after the fact. Originally,
Oh.
this is really cool. Originally, the scene was he says, like, I have a neural net processor, a learning computer, but Skynet has set it to read only when you're on an away mission where you're disconnected from the network.
Mhm.
And Sarah Connor says, they don't want you doing any learning, do they? And he says, correct. Or they don't want you doing any thinking, do they? And he said, correct. So then John Connor helps them with the help of the Terminator. He shows them like where the compartment is that has his microchip.
Mhm.
Shut the Terminator off, remove the microchip, which is the ultimate display that the Terminator is clearly on John's side because he let John literally take his brain out,
Yeah.
you know. So he takes the chip out and he's going to change it to read write instead of read only.
Mhm.
And then Sarah Connor tries to slam a hammer down on the chip and destroy it because she is positive the Terminator is there to kill them, but that he's infiltrating or that he'll turn and suddenly try to kill them or whatever. She's positive that's going to happen. And John says, like, if I'm supposed to be this great military leader, how about you take some of my leadership advice for once? So she lets him fix the chip and puts it in. And that's why the next scene is John showing him like that people keep their keys in the sun visor. And
Mhm.
he says to the Terminator, are we learning yet? Because he's been programmed to learn now.
Yeah.
So I loved that because I thought it was really good because Sarah Connor literally says, like, you don't know how hard these things are to kill. We should kill it while we have this opportunity.
Mhm.
Because she remembers what happened in the first movie, obviously. And in the Sarah Connor Chronicles, there's a whole thing about how they have a Terminator. I forget her, Cameron, a female looking Terminator because they're Terminators. And when she gets like bashed into the head, she like reverts back to her original programming. So instead of seeing John Connor and recognizing, hey, that's John Connor, protect him, it's like, that's John Connor, an ultimate target of Skynet. Please kill him immediately. So stuff like that. And it sets up the fact that John Connor, and I'm nerding out about Terminator because that is what I do with my life. It turned out that John Connor learns how to become so formidable against the machines because he basically grows up around them. So he learns like what
Mhm.
makes them function, how to affect them, stuff like that.
Okay.
How to reprogram them, which is a major part of why like Terminator 2 happens because he reprograms a Terminator to be around him. So
Mhm.
Tim Chestnut says this. Oh wait, no, I already looked at that. Oh, Patricia says, "Hey Patricia, hey you two." Patricia's been a long time listener of our show.
Oh, thank you.
ever talk in the Arnold voice for funsies? I don't know what you mean. Michelle, do an Arnold voice,
I
please.
I don't know how. That was
Hold on.
it right there.
I'll get out of your way.
No, well now I'm just alone not doing an Arnold voice. And
Come
I could just
on.
start reading the comments.
Just do it.
No. No, I can't.
Please. Okay, fine. Tim Chestnut said, I wouldn't have deleted that scene if I was Cameron simply because of how difficult it was to shoot. Yeah, like the way they show like it going down into it's really cool, Michelle. You should check it out. Um, and they said they had to have Linda Hamilton and her twin sister mirror each other's actions. Oh yeah, because there's a mirror. Yeah, that scene is incredible. There's a mirror, so on in the reflection you see
Mhm.
like a head that like goes all the way in, but they were literally
Oh.
moving at the same pace with an actual Arnold standing there, so that you couldn't. Yeah, it was really, really, really cool. Linda Hamilton had a twin sister who was how they did like the effects at the end where the T1000 simulated her appearance. Unfortunately, Linda Hamilton's sister passed away last year, I believe.
Oh no.
Um, David Denoyer said, "Yeah, but Terminator never shot a guy in the dick in close up." That's true. In that way, RoboCop will always have it over Terminator because he shot a guy in the penis. So, uh, Patricia said, "I love it when Michelle says no." I mean, it's often. So, and Ray Brown said, "Terminator Whisperer." That's John Connor, man. That's kind of the whole thing. Is that John Connor is kind of a he's kind of a what's the word? He's like on a whole other level than everybody else. So
Mhm.
his big thing is valuing life, but it seems like if you follow the later Terminator movies, especially Sarah Connor Chronicles, which I love, you start to notice that one of the big things with Connor is he kind of values the life of the machines as well, but only when they're sentient. Because
Okay.
when they're part of one giant machine that only exists to kill humanity, obviously, what can you do with that? But when they're allowed to learn and develop, he values their existence and values their life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, it does. It's like, do you remember that episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where Picard had to defend that Data was not a piece of property?
I actually just saw that like last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a good episode,
It
though.
is a good episode, yeah.
And how Riker has to be the prosecutor basically.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
he has to like use things he knows about Data against him, even though he believes that Data is sentient and deserves to be of his own mind and body.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you remember the episode? There's so many great moments on Star Trek with Data. Do you remember the episode where Data built a daughter?
Yes. Yeah.
That's some. That's an episode, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's like Data's not like he's not being well, he and his daughter in that one are not totally being treated like people.
There's a great part where when he's introducing his daughter to, I think it was to Captain Picard, I
Mhm.
believe, or maybe it was Riker, but and Picard said like I was not made aware of this project and everything,
Mhm.
and Data's
Yeah.
like I wasn't aware we had to contact. I wasn't aware that we had to consult with Starfleet before procreating.
Yeah.
He's right. He's right.
Mhm.
They don't have to say like, "Hey, we're going to get pregnant." They don't have to do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel terrible because I'm forgetting his daughter's name right now, and I'm
Um,
going to get skewered for.
it's like a lol, is that it?
Oh, that sounds familiar. Now you're going to make me look bad because I got to look it up. Because if I don't know, I'll be so sad. Okay, come on. Find daughter. Yeah, lol. LAL. Lol. You were right. Good job.
I guess.
You
Yeah.
did it. So Ray Brown commented and said, "Yeah, that episode raises really great questions sociologically." Wow, I got through that one. Uh, Keith Tomlinson, "I wish I had veto power on people I know having kids." Uh, So that was one of my favorite things about Data. I also remember when I found out that Data had been in Starfleet like 45 years at the time of the beginning of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Mhm.
He'd actually not climbed the ranks very quickly. He was actually kind of like slowly. And one of the reasons they suggest is that Starfleet thinks he's a great officer, but they're nervous about the idea of giving him command since
Sure.
he's not technically a living being.
Mhm.
And they're worried that his decisions might be poor because of that, I guess.
Mhm.
Data named his daughter after laughing. Lol. Thanks, Tim. That was a good one. Tim Chestnut with that one. Uh, so, but no, that was, I've always loved Data. I love Data. I love Data. Data kind of fills the Spock quotient, where,
Mhm.
it's all about learning how to be more human by
Yeah.
seeing something that doesn't understand it, learn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
What I didn't like about Data, I mean, it's not about Data, but I didn't like what they did with him is he kept getting like taken over by things. It was like, oh, he's some guy's living in Data now, or like this ancient alien has taken over Data. Like, leave him alone.
well, they did start to repeat themselves a little bit, especially during the writer's strike episodes. Um, have I ever? I must have shown you Star Trek TNG season 8 on Twitter, right? I haven't.
On Twitter?
It's a Twitter account. Oh man, you're in for a treat.
I don't think so, but I could be just forgetting
So,
something.
there's a Twitter account. Let me pull it up. There's a Twitter account, and it's just synopses for episodes of TNG from the unfilmed season 8.
Oh, no.
I haven't read here in a while. It looks like alien Riker is a demon and trap him in an orb. Data and Geordi decide to make a movie together. It's terrible. Like, it's stuff like that. Because if you read the descriptions of TNG episodes, it's always the first sentence is the A story and the second sentence is the B story. And
Yeah.
sometimes the B story doesn't fit at all with the A story. Like,
Mhm.
it'll be life and death on the A story, and the B story will be something silly
Mhm.
in comparison. So, like, here's one: a trapezoid challenges Picard to a race. Data and Geordi discover they've been sleeping in the same with the same hologram. A glowing orb tricks the crew into thinking it's cool, but is a dick to Data when they're alone. Riker's wife and son make a surprise visit. Picard wants racist aliens to stop being so damn racist. Riker accidentally sells Data to a prostitute. And a lot of them are Data and Geordi being like little children.
Mhm.
Picard wrestles with the ethical ramifications of altering a murderer's memories. Also, someone pooped in the holodeck and now it's ruined. Oh man. Raymond commented, Picard became Borg. The first Contact movie was fun watching the original idea of Data actually feeling it. I did like that. Oh, we got a quick visit by the Mummy and the Monkey, jumping the shark / Goofy episodes. Hi guys, just stopping by. LOL. If you guys like horror movies and you like watching live streams, I highly recommend you check out the Mummy and the Monkey. They do a live stream just about every Friday night. They're really, really cool. So, Tim said, I always wondered who cleaned the holodeck, especially after Barkley was done with it. So, and a lot of these make jokes about Barkley too.
Oh.
Let's see. You remember Barkley? I know you do, because he's like all of us in stuff. Like, because he's like he gets addicted to the holosuite. He's afraid to
Mhm.
transport. He's like a more normal person. Uh, so let's see. I want to find another one. Come on, come on. The Enterprise plunges saucer first into a temporal wave, turning everyone into babies. Will they turn back into adults by the episode's end? Yes. And then the next tweet is Data becomes a baby too, which is explained through some complicated fake math. It's worth it to see baby Jordy and Data causing trouble. I I love these so much. I love these so goddamn much. A subspace rumble disables Enterprise and blinds the crew. Data and Geordi's plan to build the perfect girlfriend backfires explosively. Uh, Roman centurions force Riker to fight a gorilla. There's no room for a side story here. The main plot is too epic. Also, it's a three-parter. All missions are put on hold until Worf locates his contact lens. The crew nervously waits in silence as he angrily crawls the corridors. You see what I mean, though? Like these are so good,
Mhm.
and these are from like 2014. So I remember reading these the first time. Picard's production of Macbeth becomes far too real. Having torn apart the warp core, Geordi now thinks the weird noise is coming from Data. Um, Riker cautiously dates a sexy sentient bomb. Picard drinks water wrong, awkwardly coughs for 10 minutes in front of an angry Romulan. It's not great. Like
They're pretty good.
Picard puts his life on the line to protect a sacred book. O'Brien's uncle shows up drunk and confused and keeps demanding to fight Quark. Oh, ain't no humor like Star Trek humor. Worf guides Picard on a perilous con captain's safari. Geordi and Data are near death after stealing and eating an entire wedding cake. There's ones like it's just Barclay does something like Barclay accidentally turns into a mattress. Barclay accidentally gets his foot stuck in a pumpkin. Like there were a bunch of those where that's the B stories of Barclay like does something stupid.
Yeah.
Spock visits the Enterprise to give Data a special gift. Geordi's miffed that Spock never remembers who he is, gets real pouty about it. Q imprisons Riker in Data's debut novel, The Werewolf Wolf, the tale of a wolf who's bitten by a werewolf based on a drawing by Geordi. Troy guides a dying ensign through his final emotional journey. Data and Geordi are trapped on a conference table by a scary dog. I love these so much. Picard must choose caulk the Enterprise and float it across the Tachyon River or attempt to ford it. Barclay gets Terry. Picard must choose to save one planet while ensuring the destruction of another. Worf threatens to kill himself over an expired coupon.
He doesn't need coupons. So what do you need coupons for?
There's one where it says Worf like Worf's head swells to twice its size, claims only cowards had allergies or something like that. The crew is flung back to Earth circa 2010, a post-ozone hellscape. They use advanced technology to disguise themselves with hats. Beverly defends a sentient virus. Instead of dumping his alien girlfriend, Wes is hoping her life cycle turns her into a tree or something. I'm sorry, I could read these all day. I need to. Oh, see, Patrick's right. Patrick Gunter just commented, "You two are having way too much fun," and he's right. He's right. Okay, just a couple more. There's by the way, there's one where it's like Picard gets stuck in a turbo lift with a whatever, and then it becomes Picard gets stuck in a sentient turbo lift, and it says Picard gets stuck in a turbo lift, and we have a clip show of all the great times Picard's been stuck in a turbo lift. Beverly clashes with aliens who own the copyright to their slaves' DNA. Worf is starting to actually believe he has a girlfriend in Canada. Picard suspects a terraforming company is instigating planetary wars. Data and Geordi have to spray a dolphin every 30 minutes or it'll die. A holodeck error populates the Enterprise with Ice Age beasts. Barclay's trapped in the dividing hallway as the saucer section separates.
Oh no!
Q hosts a temporal Q reunion on the Enterprise, invites all his past selves. Worf vows to crush whoever started the Worf has a tail rumor. Wes gets his amber collecting club trapped in amber. Picard's end of episode speech segues into a meandering rant about turbo lift etiquette. Picard must debate a copy of himself to the death. Geordi and Data really want to find their snake before anyone notices it's gone. Riker infiltrates a saboteur cult in the neutral zone. Worf demands an honorable death when the crew learns his middle name is Ashley.
Aw.
Oh my god. A nymphomaniac worm controls Riker's mind and body to seduce the Enterprise's female crew. Nobody notices. It eventually dies of old age. uh, Troy's secret agent past catches up with her. It's clear to the rest of the crew that Geordi and Data are a panda in their quarters. Worf unwillingly participates in his niece's coming of age human hunt. Riker has misplaced his chest comb and it's getting bad. Menacing professors from a university planet question Picard's dedication to science. Barclay gets his foot stuck in a pumpkin. Emotional awareness threatens the collective after the Borg assimilate Troy. Jordy and Data Jorda and Data's elaborate musical numbers upset Worf.
Aw.
I like that they're elaborate.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Picard must relax for a week while his new heart is delivered. Geordi and Worf contract a rare screaming disease. It's all in caps. Oh my god. Wes interrupts an alien ball game, igniting a forever war. Data's new vanity muscle arms don't fit in his uniform, keeps bonking into Geordi. Oh, okay. I should stop. I'm just, it's too good. An alien boy pretends Data is his science fair project to hide him from military forces. Riker's sonic shower is set to silky jazz. Uh, Patrick said, just want to see what this was like later. Good to see you, Patrick. Glad you could pop in. And Lindsay commented, if Eve wore a fig leaf, what did Adam wear besides wearing a hole in Eve's fig leaf? Oh God, I I get that one. Okay, I gotta stop, but I don't want to. I'm just gonna be honest.
I understand. Sometimes we have to not do things that we love.
Worf is framed for the murder of a depraved Klingon poet. Data and Geordi panic after trapping a hornet under a cup.
You have to take a piece of paper towel and slide it under the cup.
Worf visits his infuriatingly hippie grandparents.
Huh.
Data and Geordi's nanny teaches them that ship chores can be fun when you sing a merry song. Stuck in a hollow dance-off movie, Data and Geordi must boogie their way to freedom. Data's astonishing pop locking clocks in at 500 pops per lock. All right, we gotta shut this off. But hold on. Picard rescues his survival training class after their teacher is eaten. Barclay decompresses Deck 8 while trying to hang a photo of a car. Why is it up a car? Okay, Lindsay, I don't know what Lindsay means, but I'm going to read this. If I have 5 different bags of varying potato chip flavors, then why does my wife insist that I can only have one bag open at a time? Is this a riddle?
Like you're supposed to use the one up first, so like so the others stay fresh. Because if you open them all at the same time, they won't be fresh anymore.
You heard it here first, people.
Yeah.
Oh man, okay, last one. Wes accidentally clones his dad while trying to grow backup organs. Geordi and Data swipe one of Riker's cigarettes. It makes them sick. Okay. Other highlights that I've remembered for years and years were one of them was like Data and Geordi have a fight, decide to split their quarters with
Aww.
So anyway, I'm sorry. Those kill me because I'm such a big Star Trek fan. And they do have like the reason they're so funny is because clearly somebody spent a lot of time learning about Star Trek to make this level of jokes about it. So let's check the doggo cam. I'm guessing, yeah, he has not moved much, but it is darker now.
It is, yeah.
So good dog. Oh, Lindsay just commented. Why isn't there a reincarnation breakfast bar offered with the carnation option? I mean, I wouldn't mind a reincarnation instant breakfast instead of just a carnation instant breakfast.
Yeah, me too.
So, um, yeah, TNG season 8 is probably in my top Twitters right next to Sad Paul Giamatti. Have I made you read Sad Paul Giamatti?
I don't think so.
I shouldn't bring up Sad Paul Giamatti because you know who Paul Giamatti is?
I don't know.
The actor. You see him right there in the profile
He's all
picture.
tiny.
That's your fault. Hold on, let me see if I can
It's
enlarge
okay.
it.
I could figure it out.
There we go. There
Okay.
we go.
Yeah.
So the idea is that Paul Giamatti just says like really sad things, like life would be significantly more pleasant if the government gave out free tips. Coughing until I pass out and bang my head against the wall.
Aw.
If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to design my house to look like the inside of a Burger King. Staying in bed for the next few months. Does anyone know a good store where I can buy a purpose for my life?
Aw.
And then he like replies to like Uber Eats. Can you please add an antidepressant category for those of us browsing menus at 4 a.m.? My entire plan for financial security is based around me winning the lottery at some point. Buying a McDonald's gift card.
Aw.
It's amazing how much money you can save if you only eat cat food. He had one where I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
It's not that inexpensive.
There was one from years ago where he said something like the bus driver won't stop closing the door on my forehead that I thought was really funny. Oh, look, he tweeted at KFC. Do you guys offer any kind of discount for people who have a Colonel Sanders tattoo? Wearing a winter coat inside because the landlord won't turn on the heat. My apartment looks like the aftermath of a civil war between alcoholics and people who really like pizza. Ordering KFC and asking the delivery guy for financial help.
Oh.
Throwing all my books in the garbage. My landlord keeps sneaking into my apartment when I'm not home and selling my things on the internet. Wendy's, do you guys have any locations where I can stay overnight? Ordering a meatball sub on the internet. All my plants are going to die again. Buying my groceries at Denny's. Oh, okay. There was one that he said years ago that was just like, okay, an armful of burgers and it's straight to bed. And that one made me laugh like really, really hard. See, I held back on that one. I'm not still reading it. David Durr said, oh no, not Sad Paul Giamatti. And then Keith Tomlin replied, I love Sad Paul. And then Rachel even commented, Michelle would love Sad Paul Giamatti, LOL. Let's see. And then Tim Chestnut, I stepped away for a few moments, so apologies if you already brought this up. Nihilist Arby's is great. I have read a little bit of Nihilist Arby's.
And I do know about that one. But my Twitter doesn't have like people talking on it. It's just pictures, picture Twitter.
So it's Instagram.
Yeah, except less bad, in my opinion.
He tweeted this picture, was like, I think my apartment's really coming together. It's a frame with the frame paper still in it.
Yeah.
He had one where he was like, who needs a couch when I have all these discarded rags that like stuck with me forever? Sitting in front of my oven and pretending I have a fireplace. Tipping the pizza guy 3 cigarettes.
Oh.
Turning up the radio so I don't hear my car's engine problems. Okay, I'm going to stop after this one. Hiding empty Doritos bags inside another empty Doritos bag so things don't look as bad as they really are.
Oh.
Oh, man. So, before we get out of here, because unfortunately I do have to do my tedious work.
I gotta see what why work is messaging me. I'm scared.
You're busy working right now. You're working for the web.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking right now. I'm just concerned.
I want to say that One of the reasons I'm on such a rigid schedule right now is because not next week, but the week after next, I will be going out of town. So I think it's the week after. It doesn't matter. Soon
Yeah.
there will not be an episode at the beginning of February. I believe it'll be because I will be in Michigan staying in a cabin on a writing retreat because it's time after all of the the difficulties and challenges. It's time to finally finish the brand new draft of Babysitter Massacre 2 and start producing it. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, working at home can be really challenging because there I have so many things to worry about, like shipping packages and doing the podcasts, and it just there's so many distractions here. So I'm going to go out of town and I'm going to stay there for a week and I'm going to work on a script like crazy. And I'm really looking forward to it because it's going to be really cold
Yeah.
and snowy.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. And yeah, I'm just excited about it. So I want to mention it to everybody. So you're not surprised in a couple weeks when we're not here. It's because since we started doing it live, if I'm gonna be gone or Michelle's gonna be gone, we can't really like do a bank show
Mhm.
because it's for the live stream. So anyway, but I'm excited about that. Michelle, what exciting things do you have coming up?
Not nothing.
Okay. Well, thanks for playing anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess we're gonna wrap it up for today. So thank you everybody who hung out and chatted with us. I appreciate it a whole lot. And I think we'll probably see you all next Wednesday because we'll be back here probably Wednesday around 2:30 again. So
Yeah.
Michelle, say something really poignant and important and interesting before we leave.
I don't want to. Um, there's nothing good happening at all.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, we'll leave you on that note. So catch you guys later.